Well, today I will take you back 2700 years back into the history. Don't worry, it's not a history lesson, but a tale of an ancient stone that might ignite a new modern fire in the Middle East. First, let me set the scene for you. It's 1880 and a hot summer morning in East Jerusalem. A 16-year-old boy named Jacob, who was a student of a German archaeologist, was exploring a tunnel with some friends. While exploring, he slipped on a stone and plunged into the cold water. As he resurfaced, something caught his eye, marking on the smooth rock walls that didn't look like the usual scratch left by time. With the excitement of the discovery, young boy rushed to his teacher. Together, they returned to the spot. Well, Jacob's accidental spotting then turned to open the doors of the history and also pave a new one. They carefully examined the wall and found the inscription lines of ancient Hebrew script etched deep into the stone, which today we know as Siloam Inscription. The Siloam Inscription has now become the latest weapon in a diplomatic war between Israel's Netanyahu and Turkey's Erdogan, both of whom refuse to bend, and if they don't, probably another war is brewing in the Middle East. Well, as I mentioned, a fierce war of words has erupted between Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Turkish President Erdogan, spilling far beyond the usual geopolitical disputes. You may ask, what's the spark? Well, Netanyahu's bold declaration that Jerusalem is our city, a claim deeply rooted in archaeology, history, and national narrative of Israel, but one that Erdogan has met with fury. Well, Turkish President condemned Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's words, vowing that Turkey will never abandon the Palestinians' claim to East Jerusalem. This confrontation is not merely for media attention or some cherry points. It is a proxy battle over the ownership of most contested land on earth. But the story does not end with Netanyahu's archaeological assertion. His statements reopen a chapter that goes back 2 decades, linking to an anecdote involving then Turkish Prime Minister Mesut Yilmaz. Netanyahu recalled a high-level meeting from the late 1990s when he requested the return of the Siloam inscriptions from Turkey, where it currently resides in an Istanbul museum. Despite Netanyahu's offer to exchange Ottoman artifacts held in Israeli museums for the inscription, the Turkish leader declined, citing rising political currents in Turkey influenced by now President Erdogan's conservative base, which would resist returning an artifact that for them symbolizes Turkish cultural heritage. For Netanyahu, reclaiming this very inscription is symbolic of reclaiming Jewish history and presence in Jerusalem, a narrative vital to Israel's claim over the city's future. And in fact, on the flip side, for Erdogan, defending the inscription's possession is part of its broader political posture, opposing Israelis' policies, especially regarding Palestinians and East Jerusalem. For Israel, the inscription is far more than an archaeological artifact. It is a foundation proof of Jewish people's historical connection to Jerusalem. Well, it also confirms a biblical narrative, underlining the Jewish kingdom's presence and sophisticated civilization in the city during 8th century BCE. Currently housed in Istanbul's archaeological museum, after being removed from Jerusalem during the Ottoman rule, the inscription symbolizes a contested cultural heritage. Israel's repeated request for its repatriation underscores its symbolic and political significance as a testament to Jewish history in Israel's capital. In fact, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has emphasized the inscription as the most important Jewish archaeological discovery after the Dead Sea Scrolls, underscoring its role in affirming Jewish heritage in Jerusalem in the face of competing claims.